In this video, I live like one of history's greatest rulers, Marcus Aurelius. I follow the daily practices that built his legacy as the philosopher king of Rome. Enjoy. Good morning. Today I'll be following Marcus Aurelius' daily routine. And yeah, I already woke up. I just need to get a shot of me waking up. Look at this ridiculous setup I got going. Anything for my fans. Marcus Aurelius was like the rest of us. He was human. He didn't want to get out of bed, and just like me, this bed was so warm and comfortable this morning. But instead, he said, "It is my human duty to get out there and do my work, because all the squirrels, the ants, the birds, they're doing all their work in the world already, so I should get out there and do mine." And I think that's a really interesting perspective. It shows that he's human like the rest of us. It does motivate me to get ahead and go up and get the day started. And this step right now is probably the most important part of his daily routine. It's his journal. As we all know, his famous journal was Meditations. We're able to see glimpses of his life as a Roman emperor. And this journal was probably the most important part of his day, where he got up without distractions and wrote down whatever was in his head and whatever he expected to do today. So that's exactly what I'm going to do right after waking up, is write in his journal and write down all my thoughts. By the way, this is a random journal I got. I know it's not very aesthetic, but please bear with it. I'd imagine that Marcus Aurelius would journal outside, so that's exactly what I'm going to do. So that's journaling completed, and yeah, I think in my journal I wrote a lot about my purpose in life. And I know that's something that Marcus Aurelius struggled a lot with, is just finding purpose. And for me, recently, I've been finding that's been making videos and creating content online on YouTube. And it's something that gets me really, really excited just thinking about it and having the chance to even inspire millions around the world. I think it's something that I'm going to go all in for. And I've just been journaling and just, kind of just thinking about like how hard it is to get through that dip where it might not be all working out, but I believe in the end, hard work, consistency, and a little bit of luck gets you there in the end. So that's what I've been journaling about today. The next thing on Marcus Aurelius' plate is doing the hard work. He likes to tackle the hard things early on during his day. So that's exactly what I'll be doing. I'll be doing all the hard work that I want to do in the morning. So that's editing, getting some shots, and doing some work. So let's get into it. The next thing on Marcus Aurelius' plate after doing the hard work and locking in is to do something physical. And apparently he was a wrestler. I read that online. Not sure how true that is, but one thing's for sure. He's ripped. I mean, bro, look at that. He's jacked. It's honestly insane. So I think I'm going to go for a run, do some pull-ups, do some push-ups, and we'll see how it goes. That's the run completed. Look at how sweaty I am. Sorry, that was nasty. So next up on Marcus Aurelius' daily checkpoint is that he will take a cold bath at this time. He had these beautiful fountains back then where people could just take a bath. And so he would take a cold shower or a cold bath to cleanse himself of all the impurities he experienced and accumulated that day. So although I don't have the exact grandness of a fountain, I'm still going to take a cold shower or a cold bath. Oh yeah, that's really cold. Oh my god, that's cold. That's really cold. Honestly, the cold shower was really nice. I think it's because I did it after I ran and did some exercises, and it felt really good. Otherwise, it wouldn't have felt so good. So, Marcus Aurelius probably took it because it just felt really good after a really long day of controlling the freaking empire. So yeah, felt really good. Also, side note, I'm cooking salmon for dinner. Yummy. So, one of the last thing Marcus Aurelius does before he heads to bed is read a book. I mean, the man was just a beast in learning about everything there is in philosophy. And for me, I've always been wanting to try and read this book, The Art of War. But I just never had time for it. Or can never phrase that and say, I never made time for it. So I'm going to carve out some time for it right now and try and read. At the end of his days, Marcus Aurelius would look back on his day and reflect what he could have done better. Imagine being the most powerful emperor in the world and still having the courage and the critical thinking abilities to refine yourself further, even though you could do anything you could have wanted in the world. He could have indulged in anything, but yet he still chooses to ground himself and still critically reflect on what he could have done better as a person. And so I'm going to take some time and journal what I could have done better and hopefully get back to you guys on what I thought about my day today. Also, just please ignore the fact that I'm legit looking like a blueberry right now. I know I said this in my past videos, but something I've always just struggled with constantly is just self-confidence. And a lot of that comes from not putting in the hard work consistently. And I feel like a lot of that is blocked by this, the phone. And the more I think about it, the more that this phone is slowly destroying my life and slowly intoxicating my life with dopamine hits conveniently whenever I want. And so my mission for the rest of this year is to really stop depending on these phones or my laptop for dopamine hits. And rather just, stay present in the moment a little. And even making videos and trying to make it on YouTube, just stay more present in the grind. And I think that'll help me put in the work more consistently and work harder for the things I want, rather than just focusing my energy into useless brain rot. Finally, the last thing Marcus Aurelius does during his day or his night is memento mori. And in Latin, it means remember that you will die. And he uses this phrase to guide what he thinks about when he's saying goodbye to his children or to his wife. And I think that's really powerful. I think it's really powerful reminding yourself every night that nothing should be taken for granted, that everything could just disappear tomorrow, that any of us could die. I think it causes us to ask us, do we feel satisfied with today? Do we feel that we maximize everything in our life? And when I think about my purpose in life, I don't want it to be financially driven, status driven, how I look online, how I look to other people. I really want my purpose in life to be driven by a positive influence onto people, meaning that through the power of YouTube or some other media, I really want to influence people's life for the better, sort of leave the place better from when I came in. And I think that's a really powerful statement. I'm saying that I want to change people's lives positively, and that my purpose in life should be that mission, and I won't be happy with my life until I've done that. And so I think the idea of memento mori, which is to remind yourself that everyone dies. It could be today, tomorrow, the day after tomorrow, or even 50 years from now. But it's just so important to be purpose-driven by something. And while it could be money, it could be power, it could be status, for me, I really want it to be through this, through you guys. So I really hope that this touches one of you guys at the core.